Hey everyone, Caront here, and I am finally getting around to recording my 2-year retrospective. So yay! I have been on YouTube for 2 years and about 2 weeks. I would have recorded this earlier, but with moving in, moving out, or well, moving out and moving in, getting everything settled and so on, well, I've been busy. So my apologies on that. But first off, thank you guys for a great 2 years plus. It has been a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun doing Let's Play videos. I've had a lot of fun streaming with you guys, and have had a lot of fun just overall with video game stuffs, whether it is streaming or Let's Playing or just talking about other games or what have you. I have really enjoyed it, and thank you guys because you guys are the ones who've made it possible. In this retrospective, I want to look at my numbers real quick and just sort of talk about where the channel has gone in the last 12 months and also talk about where I want to go with it, what I plan to do for the next roughly few months or maybe even year for the channel in terms of Let's Plays and streams, and then also what I want to do in terms of events coming up, which is one in particular. If you've been watching my videos already, you know which one I'm talking about. On the numbers side first, I had recorded a previous version of this video that allowed me to pan over and you could see the numbers, but then I looked back on the video and it was kind of crappy. So I'm just going to talk about the numbers so that it doesn't look crappy really. Okay, in the last 12 months, I have had a 211% jump in views, which is pretty darn nuts, to just over 17,000 and a 238% jump in watch time, which is nuts, to about 116 days. Now, who has been watching my content for 116 days? Obviously, you guys. I'm not really sure what it is about my content that people would want to watch it for 116 days, but thank you. I really appreciate it. I hope I will be more engaging maybe in the future. In terms of view duration, my view duration has gone up a little over 8% this year to 9 minutes and 38 seconds. That, given that my average video is probably between 25 and 30 minutes or so, that's actually pretty good because it's about a third of them. And that I've seen, at least from looking at metrics and such, that's actually a pretty good ratio, I suppose, because it means people are watching about a third of my videos before they have to maybe go off and do other stuff and what have you. So thank you. The fact that that has gone up means I'm doing something right, at least. In terms of subscribers and other numbers, I've had 71 subscribers in the last 12 months, and that is about half of what I have now because I'm at 145 at the moment. And I have at least to thank for some of that is Rage and his crew coming over from his streams and helping me out. So I really do appreciate that. And for everybody else who's come on, of course, I appreciate you guys too. In terms of likes and dislikes and the like, I guess, it's a little tough to tell in terms of percentages up and down from last year because YouTube doesn't have that tracked. But 637 likes on my videos, 60 dislikes, which I'm still trying to figure out where the heck those are hiding. And I've had 1,200 comments, so a lot of people have been commenting on my videos. Those are principally Suikoden 2 videos, I would expect. Although I've been getting comments on Tales of the Abyss, I've been getting comments on Final Fantasy Tactics, and on my streams as well. Speaking of the top videos that I have, no big shocker, they're all Suikoden 2. And for good reason, because Suikoden 2 is an excellent game. I had a lot of fun playing it, especially blind. And yeah, that's no shock that it is my top view time in the slightest. The top video that I have in terms of view time, and probably going to be the top video in view time period, is my first one, is the first full video in Suikoden 2. That has gotten about 2,800 minutes viewed in the last 12 months. Then the next video is the Night Raid, which if you haven't played or watched Suikoden 2, I'm not going to spoil what happens, but we get to meet up for the first time really with one of the main villains in the game, with certainly the main charismatic villain. And oh boy, that video has gotten a lot of attention because it is a confrontation with the most memorable villain probably ever, maybe in video gaming, with a few potential exceptions. And I think another reason why people have watched it a lot is because I kind of screwed up on that video, and I recognize that now, in that basically said villain kicked my ass the first time I fought him. And unfortunately, I was so angry and peaked about that that I deleted that footage and started the episode again from another confrontation with him. And some viewers took me to task for that, and deservedly so, because what I should have done in retrospect is keep that in, keep getting my ass kicked in, and then cut back to when I'd gotten prepared and everything was ready for round two. So, yeah, that taught me a lot. I've learned a lot from the process of that video. And so I think hopefully that will help me to do better for the future. Then the rest of the videos are also sweetened into, starting with you've got the first few videos are pretty prominent on that list. Then you've got the last video, or at least the last main video in the story, and then other scattered videos along with that. In terms of my overall viewership, 90% of my viewership is male and 10% is female, which from what I've seen on other pages, I mean, other YouTubers like Chugga Conroy have mentioned that a 10% female viewership is actually pretty good in regards to one's views and streams and such. And so I will take that accordingly. I would hope that ratio maybe would be a little bit better in the future, but it's still pretty good. So hopefully that will continue on into the next year and beyond. In terms of geographies, over half of my viewers are from the US, which is no surprise because so am I. And then you've got the United Kingdom, Norway, Canada, and Italy are in my top 5. So I've got a pretty good geographical distribution all around. That is, in essence, my numbers for YouTube. With that, I want to also look at my numbers for Twitch too, just to mention something about those. In the last year, I started using Twitch alerts to track everything, or at least to track my follows and such. I didn't start using it until November, so it doesn't have my complete stats in terms of viewer gain until starting at November, so it's not quite a full year. But it's been a pretty good, not quite a full year as it turns out, because I have 123 followers on Twitch right now, which is a marked increase from even where I was before I went on my trip to DC in May, largely because of Pokemon White. No surprise there either. But when we look at the overall number as far as followers that I've gained in the last several months, I have gained 78 followers since November, since I started using Twitch alerts. That is obviously well over half of 123. In fact, that's roughly 60 something percent. I mean, that's close to 2/3 of that. And that has been remarkable. It's been really crazy and insane how I've gotten so many people to come in. Now, that is primarily because of Pokemon White, because you see, if you were to look at my numbers, I had 4 new followers in November and December. Then I had 6 in January with the beginnings of, or really kind of getting into gear with Breath of Fire 4. Then 2 in February, 2 in March, 1 in April, then 10 in May, which likely had to do to some degree with me streaming through the Uncharted series, but had more to do with the fact that I started Pokemon White. Then you have 30 in June, so basically I gained a new Twitch follower every single day, which is pretty nuts. Then 16 in July, and 3 in August so far, but mostly because I hadn't streamed very much in August because I've been moving and getting things arranged and such. So overall, this has been a really good year in terms of views and likes and subscriptions and the whole 9 yards. Really, pretty much every metric that I have has been really good for the last 12 months. And for that, of course, I have you guys to thank deeply, because without y'all, obviously, none of this would have happened. Okay, so where do I want to go in the next 12 months? Or, well, roughly 12 months. All right, well, first off, in terms of Let's Plays, I am, of course, doing Final Fantasy Tactics right now. That is going to be going on for a while, probably until the end of the year, roughly, because we're on episode 14 right now. We are going to have about 60 or so episodes in the whole thing, because I'm going to be doing everything. I'm going to be doing all the story, and there is also an optional dungeon that you can go to, actually most of the way through the story, not entirely 100% through, but there is another dungeon that you can go through that is very unique. I don't want to spoil it right now because that is going to come later, but I will be doing that as well. So we're going to have roughly 60 episodes or so of Final Fantasy Tactics. That means I'm probably not going to finish until the end of the year. After that's finished, I'm going to be doing a blind Let's Play of Skies of Arcadia Legends for the GameCube. I have been told by a few folks that it is a really good game, and the fact that I have Legends means that I have basically the better version of the game. So I'm going to be doing that. Now, as a blind Let's Play, I don't know how long that's going to go, obviously, because it's blind. I don't know. But I expect that's probably going to take a few months. It generally does because I'm more into long form RPGs and being only able to post 3 days a week. It takes a bit. After that, I will admit I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do after Skies of Arcadia. I've been thinking about two different games, either Chrono Cross or Suikoden 5. Now, Fez, you might be laughing as I mentioned Chrono Cross because you have been doing that in your test streams of late. I actually had been thinking about it before you started doing your test streams, but when I was watching some of those, it sort of piqued my desire a little bit more. I'm not really sure which one I'm going to do though. If you guys obviously want to chime in on that, feel free. But really, it's a coin flip. I would like doing either one. I wouldn't mind doing either series. And so now I'm still thinking about that. It's going to be a while before that happens though, so I got some time to ponder it. On the stream side, I am, as according to my viewers, about to finish Pokemon White, about to finish the post game. So because of that, it's time to start thinking about moving on. Next game that I am going to be streaming after Pokemon White is finished up is Child of Light. That's likely going to take about 4 weeks because when I did my run through of the game during my time between apartments, it took me about 16 hours to get everything in the game, or pretty much everything in the game. So I figure it's probably going to be about that point with here too. So that's going to be the next 4 weeks. Then I'm going to be doing Shadow of the Colossus on the PS2 after that. That will also likely take about 4 weeks, I think. I'm not sure on that one. Then after that, I wasn't sure what exactly I was going to do after that because what my original plan was to do Child of Light, then Shadow of the Colossus, then Uncharted 4. However, generally I've been too broke to get Uncharted 4 because I've had to move, I've had to change apartments, my savings account's taken a hit, and so on. As it turns out, looky what I found for a low price. Yeah, I found Uncharted 4 at my local, well, bookstore slash gaming store slash pretty much everything in terms of that sort of stuff store. Unfortunately, said store is closing its doors, so they're selling off everything they have. Now, the good news for me is it means that I picked this little beauty, which is generally about 60 bucks, for roughly half that. So, yeah, we will continue as scheduled. I will be playing Uncharted 4 on the PS4 after I get done with Child of Light and Shadow of the Colossus. Now, after that, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do because I'm thinking about two things. Again, I'm thinking about either starting Paper Mario on, I believe, the N64, I think is the system that it's on, or going back and finishing Final Fantasy V. Some of you who tuned in the summer knew that I was streaming Final Fantasy V mostly because I was bored and I didn't have much to do, so I was just sitting here playing games that I kind of wanted to play. And I enjoyed playing it a lot more than I thought I would. I mean, I knew I liked the game, I just didn't remember how much I liked the game. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do in regards to that. If I do Paper Mario, it is going to be blind because I haven't seen anything in regards to it before. If I'm going to be doing Final Fantasy V, it is not blind because I've played and beaten it before, but it's been a long time since I've beaten it. So I'm not, it's going to be a bit hazy, I guess. I'm not quite as up on that game maybe as I should be. So again, if you want to chime in on that, feel free. Also, I am going to be continuing with Dragon Quest VIII, of course. I think we are roughly halfway through the game at this point. I'm not sure, but I think pretty much we're at the halfway point at this moment. So I figured that is likely because we've streamed that once a week ever since I think about mid-June, I believe. So we've gone about 2 months with that game, and we're about halfway through it. So I figure it's probably going to be another 2 to 3 months. If it turns out that that ends right around the time that I end with my trilogy of Child of Light, Shadow, and Uncharted 4, I may end up doing both at once, actually, now that I think about it. I'm not sure, though. Again, if you guys want to chip in with your thoughts, please do so. Another thing I also want to look at or want to emphasize is in November, I am going to be doing my charity stream. I am going to talk more about that in a separate video because I want to do a vlog that is solely focused on the charity stream, talking about it, what it's about, what I'm doing it for, what my goal is for it, and so on. That is going to be, the charity stream itself is going to be November 5th, so it's a little over 2 weeks 2 weeks, 2 months away. And so it's getting closer a lot sooner than I thought it would, really. Okay, now, what do I want to, or what are my goals basically? What do I want to do in the next 12 months? Well, I would like to, in terms of just talking sheer numbers, I am, as I mentioned, at 145 subscribers right now on YouTube and 123 followers on Twitch. I would like to hit 200 on both before the next 12 months elapse. And I'm on my way to doing that. I mean, given the way that the numbers and metrics have worked out lately, I'm on my way in both directions, really. Now, will that happen? I don't know. Will I be bummed out if that doesn't happen? A little bit? Not too much, though, because I, well, no, me and my getting bummed about numbers thing is something I'm trying to work on because numbers isn't everything in the YouTube and streaming world. It seems like it sometimes, especially when you look at the super duper YouTubers and streamers and you go, oh my God, they've got tens of millions of whatevers. And you look at whatever you have and go, oh my God, that's not much. That affects me sometimes. Sometimes it's better than others. Right now, I'm not too particularly keyed into it. What I want more importantly, more than just, oh, I want X amount of numbers, is I want people who will come in and watch, who will participate, who will comment. Those of you who are in my streams, y'all are really good about that, so thank you. But I want people to come in who are comfortable participating, who are comfortable commenting, who are comfortable coming into the streams and chatting with other folks, who are comfortable in talking about stuff, whether it is serious or not so serious or what have you. I like to basically have a community who are comfortable coming in and taking part and participating and not just being sort of flies on the wall. And if that means that I don't grow much in numbers, but I grow in terms of interactivity and that sort of thing, then okay. If it means I grow in numbers and interactivity, then obviously that's even better. But I want to see a community and I want to see people who want to come in and take part and not just sit there and watch. Talk to me, comment with some of the other folks and so on. So that is ideally what I want to see. In terms of, I guess, what I want to see from the channel overall, um, obviously, I mean, numbers is part of it, but I also want to see us having or us being a community of people who will help others, whether it's promote others, whether it's comment on other videos, try to encourage people, or whether it is trying to make a difference. And yes, that means in my charity stream, but obviously in other stuff as well. I want to see that happen, and I hope you guys will help me make that possible. If it means more numbers, great. If it doesn't mean more numbers, then okay, I can work with that. All right. I think that's pretty much everything I want to talk about now. So I will go ahead and step away and start getting ready for my next stream, which is in a little over an hour. So yeah, I kind of need to start getting ready. But thank you guys for supporting me, for liking my videos and commenting and interacting in my chat, whacking me upside the head, laughing at me, poking fun at me, encouraging me, whatever form it takes. Thank you. I really appreciate it because, of course, without you guys, I wouldn't be anything. I mean, all I'd be here is some goofball sitting here talking on a video camera and everybody kind of looking, going, wait, what? So thank you guys for helping me, for watching me, for supporting me. And I hope you guys will continue to do so over the next month. If you do, then that's great. If not, then, oh, mea culpa. But at any rate, I'm going to go get ready for the stream. Hope you guys have a great, well, right now it's still Tuesday in most parts of the world. And thank you guys for watching and for supporting me and all that good stuff. And I'll see y'all later.